Okay, so let's start the experiment. First of all, we will take an overview. I'll give you an overview of the trainer. So what we have here, first of all, we have a few meters here. This is the voltmeter, ampere meter, a watt meter here with a current and potential coil. Then we have a power factor meter here. Again, same current and potential coils are here. Again, a DC voltmeter and a DC ammeter. We also have a load indicator which we'll be using for the purpose of measuring the torque. Then on the left side we have MCB, a 3-pole MCB, which is actually current protection for this strainer. A contactor, green is for on, red is for off. DC supply here, a 3-phase supply which you can see here. This is the 3-phase, so red, yellow, blue, and then a black Y connection. Then there is a rheostat to control the excitation of our DC generator, and we also have a single phase load over here which will be implemented on the motor, on the generator. So then we have a this is the DC shunt generator, and here we have a 3-phase squirrel cage induction motor. So let's go towards the connections, and then we'll be performing the experiment. Okay, so this is our induction motor. You can see red, yellow, and blue. These are 3 windings inside this induction motor on the stator of this induction motor, and we'll give 3 phases, and then we will combine, or we will get a common connection on the neutral. And we will also use a wattmeter and a power factor meter for the supply. So first of all, if you see the circuit diagram, so the red phase is going through the wattmeter, and then through the power factor meter and the wattmeter all the way to the supply. So let's connect this to the wattmeter. So first of all, what we have to do, we have to connect the red phase to the current coil of the wattmeter, or you can also connect it to the power factor meter as well. So there are 2 meters which are actually going to be connected, and this will be connected in series with your power factor meter. So the current coil of the wattmeter is going to be connected in series with the power factor meter, and then this power factor meter, the current coil of this power factor meter will go all the way to your red phase on the machine, which is actually the induction motor. So this is the connection for the both of the current coils, okay, so of the wattmeter and of the power factor meter as well. Next, what we have to do, we have to energize the potential coils of the wattmeter and the power factor meter. So it's very simple. Just connect the input of your current coil with the potential coil. So here you go. I have connected the input of my current coil of wattmeter with the potential coil of the wattmeter, and also we'll do same for the power factor meter. The input will be connected to the one of the coil of the potentiometer. So here you go. Next, what we have to do, we have to connect the other end of the potential coil with the neutral. Sir, can you please hand over me the black wires? So we will use the black wires for this, for both of these connections, and you can connect them in common as well. So you can see through the diagram that first of all, both of these are connected here with each other, and then later on this connection is gone all the way to your supply, so which is here. So you can connect this connection to the neutral of your supply. So here you go. We have connected both the neutral coils of the potential transformer, or the potential coil, to the neutral of our 3-phase supply. Then later on in the diagram you can see that the yellow phase, it is connected to the induction motor via ampere meter, and it's very simple connection. You have to connect the ampere meter in series with your induction motor and your supply. So first of all, the connection from the supply is going to be connected to the ammeter, and then this connection will go all the way to the yellow or the yellow phase of the induction motor. So here you go, this is connected. Next you can see that the yellow phase and the blue phase are connected with the voltmeter. So again, it's very simple. Just connect a yellow wire from your supply to the voltmeter here, and then the blue wire will be connected from the supply to the voltmeter. Okay, so next what we have to do, we have to connect the blue phase with the voltmeter. So here you go, this is the blue phase and this will be connected to your voltmeter. Now we have connected we have completed the connections for the voltmeters, ammeter and the power factor meter, wattmeter. Also we have to give the blue phase to our machine as well. So you can connect it from the power supply to your motor. So this is your motor, the blue phase, and then this will be connected into the with the power supply. Next we have to connect the neutral. We have to connect a common connection here because this will be a star connection. So it's very simple, you have to connect them. You have to connect them in star, so you can connect all of them in common. There you go. Okay, and you don't have to connect it to the supply. So this is a balanced winding, so if you connect it with a supply it will work. If you don't connect it with your three-phase supply, it will work. But in a three-phase system for induction motor only, you can use this configuration. So here the connection of induction motor are completed. I have connected three phases over here, and then you can say that the common connection or the star connection or the star point is here on the other end of this motor. Next we will make the connections for the generator, and then the generator will be connected to the load. Okay, so now if you turn on the machine, so just turn on the green button, then you can see now it is rotating clockwise. Next, if you want to change the rotation, what you can do, you can just change, like interchange the two phases. And now first the motor was rotating clockwise and now it will rotate anti-clockwise. So you can see that the motor is rotating anti-clockwise. Okay, coming back towards the connections once again, we will now connect our generator. We will give it excitation and then we will connect it to the load as well. So let's start. First of all, what you have to do is that you have to connect the supply, or the DC supply actually, the DC voltage to the field excitation. So as you can see that there is a DC excitation over here. This is your DC excitation, but this module is unfortunately not working. So what I have done, I have connected another the trainer to this voltmeter, and it will give us DC voltage, and this DC voltage will be connected to our supply, okay, the field excitation of our generator. So I will use yellow wires for the DC excitation, so you can differentiate between the phases and also the DC and the AC power. And then this is the rheostat. You can use it this way or that way. I'll just connect it here, and then the other connections will be made. Okay, just give me a minute. I just mixed a few wires. Okay, so this connection will be given to the rheostat over here, and then this connection will go later to the F1. So here you go. Now the excitation is connected to F1. Next we have to connect the negative or the common. So from this supply we will connect it to F2. So these are the simple connections. We have done it a lot of times. Like we have performed this experiment a lot, and almost in every lab we have this shunt generator connected to the system. Okay, next we have to connect the output to the load. So this is A1, and I'll be using a multimeter for the DC amps, and I will connect it to the A. You can see this is the meter. I'll connect it A. Also the range, I will set the range to 20 amperes DC. Okay, and this is the connection, and this connection will be continued to all the way to the load. Okay, so here you go. I have connected the ammeter here, and this connection will be connected to the load. So I will connect it to the load now, and as you can see, this connection is going to be connected to the load. Okay, so this will give us our EMF. I will also this will be the load current. Okay, and also the A2 will be connected to the other terminal. So here you go. This is for A2. Okay, so that was the load current. Okay, that was the load current. Okay, so next we also need to find the output voltage, the EMF which our supply is generating. I will also connect a multimeter for that. So here you go. This will be your load current. Okay, so it's time to operate this setup over here. So I have connected all the connections, and also I have got this load current over here. Like the meter is here, so you can get a good view of the readings. So first of all, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to turn on this supply and also this DC excitation. Okay, so again there is a precaution that you should always operate your induction motor on load. So without load, it's not recommended to operate any of your induction motors. So first of all, I have turned on the excitation. As you can see that 200 volts of excitation, and the excitation current is then it will be limited, but the excitation voltage is around 200 volts. So next what I'm going to do, I'm going to press the button. So when I'm going to press the button, then the machine will start rotating. So here you go. Also the wattmeter is too high, and just let's calibrate the our power factor meter. As you can see that it's not calibrated well enough. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to calibrate it a bit. Oh, it's going other way. Okay, so Yes, now it's on 1. So let's turn on the DC power supply. After that, you have to switch on the relay, or sorry, the magnetic contactor. So when you switch on the magnetic contactor, then the machine will start rotating. So here you go. So now this is the voltage. It's around 400 volts. The current, it's very low. The voltage is very high. As you can see, it's very high. This is our load. The power factor, it's lagging. Okay. The DC voltmeter. So now the problem is with our current, that we cannot measure the current of this machine from the analog multimeter, because its scale is very high. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to now replace this meter with a DMM. Okay, so it's very simple. Just first of all, set the range to 20 amperes. This is 20 amperes AC. Okay, and next what you have to do is just change the connections, like put it here in the the input, and then it will, in series, it will be connected with the with your motor, with the induction motor, and let's name it as IM. Okay, so this will be the current of your induction motor. And again, I will try to set this here, so that please turn that off, Profi. So I will try to set it up here. Okay, so now this is the motor current. I hope you can see it, and this is the load current now. So let's start it again. Sarafi, turn on this is the excitation is on now. Okay, let's turn on the motor. Okay. We also have to calibrate this. That's good. Okay. So let's turn it on. Okay, so first of all, we have like 400 volts. The power is very high, so we can't actually get the clear view over here. This is the load, this is the power factor. It's lagging definitely. The excitation voltage, we don't have to read it. The induction motor input current is around 0.28287, and then the load current is about 0.10. Okay, so we don't have a good view of the load current, so I will try to set this again so that you can have a good view. Okay, so I will try my best. And let me set it up for you. Okay, so now I hope it's visible. So let's start the experiment. Turn on the excitation. Again, we have to calibrate this load indicator. So here you go. This is the first reading, and we will also measure the speed as well. So the speed, it's around 1314, and okay, so it was around 1314, and now it's time to increase the load. So I will increase the load now. You can see that the load current, so the load current is going to increase now. The load current, you can see that the load current is around 0.2. 0.28 is the input current. Watts, I cannot show you them. Voltage is also good, power factor, voltmeter, and let's go towards the readings of the speed. Okay. So now it's 1309. Okay, so it's reduced to 1309. Again, let's put more load here. Now the load is around 0.29, and let's check the reading of the speed. So now the speed has dropped a lot, but still I will just check it again. Yes, so it's around 1290. It has dropped a lot, so it's around 1290 the speed, and you can see that the load is also it has been increased. Another reading. So this time again the load is increased. And now the speed has dropped to 1274. So the speed has dropped drastically. So let's go towards the final reading. So this is the final reading. And the speed has dropped to 1205. Okay. So this was the experiment. So what we saw here, that we increased the load on our generator, which resulted in a load on the shaft, and then this shaft which is connected to the three-phase induction motor, and you can see that there is a drastic change in the speed. It has decreased a lot as the load was load was increased on our system. So this was about the experiment, the procedure and the readings, and let's go towards the conclusion of the experiment. Okay guys, so as you saw that the wattmeter was faulty here. So what we have done, that we have arranged a digital wattmeter, power meter, for the purpose of this experiment. So you can see here we have a power meter. Again, it has the similar potential coils and the current coils. So we will convert these connections from here to this for the sake of our readings. It will also show the power factor as well. So let's see what are the connections and then the reading. First of all, we will convert this current coil here and this potential coil here. So Sarafi, can you please help me so that we can convert it? So simply these are the connection of the potential coil, and then these are the connections for the current coil. Okay. So just similar connections, but we have changed our meter now, and let's turn on the supply and turn on the DC supply, and let's turn on the motor. So in the minus, so you have to change the connection. Yes, so as the reading was in minus, so you see that you have to change the connection of the current transformer. So current transformer can be changed easily. And then about the load, we will just put on the load here. Everything is okay. Okay, so yes. current, this is the voltage, this is the power, and right now the load current is not flowing. Okay, so I will just check the load current. The load current is not flowing at all, so I'll just check these connections. Okay, so now everything is figured out, and the power meter is set to watts, and let's start the experiment. So the first reading, the power is around 48 or 49 watts here, and the power factor is 0.7. Now the power has been increased to 52 watts, and the power factor is 0.76. Then again let's turn on. Now the power is gone to around 55 watts. Is 0.78, and remember this is the lagging power factor. Okay, as you can see, this is the lagging power factor. So let's again come towards the power. Now it is around 58 watts, and the power factor is 0.79 lagging. Okay. So for the final reading, the power factor is 0.82 lagging, and the power is around 68 watts. One more reading if you want. So this is the power factor, increasing the load. Now the power factor has increased to 0.831, and the power has increased up to 71 watts. Okay guys, this was the experiment, and I hope you got a good overview of the squirrel cage induction motor, and let's go towards the conclusion of the experiment.